At the end of the day, everybody has to go to bed and wake up with who they are as a person. I know a guy, dude, I think he's worth like 112 million. I saw one of his crypto wallets. He told me that for the last 2 years, he hasn't been able to sleep because he feels anxious that somebody's gonna steal his money. Think about being so rich, coming from nothing, so you have that paranoia of losing, and especially if you're in crypto, that people are gonna take your shit. So every single day, every relationship that you interact with, it's all like this. Looking over my shoulder, is somebody gonna take my shit? Sleeping at night, making sure I'm checking my wallet 24/7, make sure my funds, dude, psychotic shit. Is that person truly happy? Is that truly a person that defines success? So why would you have enmity in a banquet in a palace when you could have peace in a small room? Which one would you choose? A wise man would choose the peace, because that is where you actually live. You live here. You don't live here. You live here. Fear and love, right? Or hate. You could call it hate and love. That is the most powerful vibrational frequency that we operate in, the vibrational frequency of love. And within that vibrational frequency, that's where people find, right, their ability to be molded or taken advantage of, right? So the jab rolls around, and what do they tell you? They don't tell you do it for yourself. They tell you what? Do it to protect everybody else, right? So they automatically put you into the hive. And there's this famous saying that says, that which is good for the hive is not good for the bee. So it's about taking that into perspective when you begin to adopt all these worldviews and perceptions, and understanding that there's people behind these things that control and curate the narrative. And their appeal isn't to your logic, it's to your emotion, because it's in your emotion where they can suck you in. Yeah. And people need to be really extremely careful, which goes back to your initial point, right? We're talking about all this dystopian shit that's taking place around the world. Dude, that's negative energy. People are affected by that in real time. So how do you channel that energy? And that's the extremely kind of important point that most people never get to. It's like they look at the news, all this garbage, 24/7, death, suicide, robberies, killings, bad policy. That's all they consume all day. No wonder their life is shit. All they consume is negativity. There's nothing. When was the last time you fucking turned off the TV, said, I'm not going to watch the news for 30 days? I don't give a fuck what's taking place around the world. Let me go read a book. Let me go read a book on personal development, on just, I don't know, maybe let me go read a book on learning. There's a phenomenal book called The Art of Self-Learning. Most motherfuckers don't even know how to read, right? Americans have sixth grade, eighth grade reading, I don't know, something ridiculous. And we think that somehow we're hot shots. People can't even fucking read. And then you have all these entrepreneurs, right, that think they're hot shots, but they don't know anything about business. They don't know anything about systems. They don't know anything about operations. They don't know anything about payment processing, supply chain. So they go and open up a little dropship store and think that they're the hottest shit, but then they forget, right, all the shit that it actually, all the stuff that is actually necessary in order to become successful, in order to manage the narrative in your own way. But most people never get to that place because most people are controlled through their emotions by other individuals. And that emotion isn't just on the fear side, right, of controlling through the fear narrative, but also through the narrative of telling people and assigning people what their goals and their dreams in life are going to be. So if I tell you for 18 years, right, that your identity and your joy is going to be found in producing a ton of shit and making a ton of money and buying a ton of stuff, there's a high likelihood that you're going to believe me, especially if you see me as a source of authority. But I see so many people that once the wire hits the bank account, they're like, fuck, okay, well, I still feel the same way. And it's a great case for a lot of people that have nothing. They're like, well, I don't give a fuck. I'll feel shitty as long as I have money. I don't care. I understand that because you're in a desperate situation. Yeah. But when you're in the other situation, you'll realize that it's not as appealing or as enthusiastic as you may believe, because at the end of the day, everybody has to go to bed and wake up with who they are as a person. They have to look at themselves in the mirror. And that is the true definition of becoming successful, is when you look at yourself in the mirror, not what Arie thinks of me, not what my Discord thinks of me, not what my YouTube channel thinks of me. When I look at myself in the mirror, what do I think of me? Did I fucking steal money from all these old grannies and did all these phone scams or did all this garbage, whatever it is, taking from people what doesn't belong to you, bad karmic energy put out into the universe. A lot of people would not be able to sleep. A lot of people that I know that are extremely successful. I know a guy, dude, I think he's worth like 112 million. I saw one of his crypto wallets. He told me that for the last 2 years, he hasn't been able to sleep because he feels anxious that somebody's going to steal his money.
That's wild.
Think about being so rich, coming from nothing. So you have that paranoia of losing, and especially if you're in crypto, that people are going to take your shit, right? So every single day, every relationship that you interact with, it's all like this, looking over my shoulder. This is somebody going to take my shit? Sleeping at night, making sure I'm checking my wallet 24/7, make sure my funds. Dude, it's like psychotic shit.
It reminds me of a
You-
squirrel, like
you-
with their
yeah,
acorns, you know,
exactly,
they're
bro.
like
Exactly, bro.
just
Exactly. It's like
guarding them.
back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it's like, is that person truly happy? Is that truly a person that defines success? Why? No, it's not. And once you start reading a lot of these texts that hold a lot of value and truth, like the Bible, for example, there's this verse in the Bible that says, "It is better," and I'm paraphrasing it. It is better to live in a small room, happy, than to dine in a banquet with discord. The discord, the original word is discord, or like
Right.
enmity in conversation. It's also conversation, but it's a discordia is the word in Spanish. I don't know how to translate that in English. Is
No, you
discordia? Let
nailed
me
it.
look it up. Is it
I
discord?
think,
Discordia?
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could be wrong, but
Yeah, it's Discord. Yeah, Discordia. Okay, yeah. So it's the enmity, right? So why would you have enmity in a banquet in a palace when you could have peace in a small room? Which one would you choose? A wise man would choose the peace,
yeah.
because that is where you actually live. You live here. You don't live here. You live here.